Hello, folks. Well, I've got about half an hour before I need to disappear off and go and play the organ for a wedding at Ancaster Church. So I thought we'd have a look at a couple of Citizens Band magazines from June and November. That's not November, it's August. 1981. So before CB was legal in the UK. So there was lots of pre-production prototypes of sets that never happened. So I think it was April that the specification MPT 1320 was issued by the UK government. So it meant that manufacturers could start putting things together ready to sell. Was it November the 4th, 1981? So June should be that kind of announcement, and August would be probably looking up some mock-ups. So this could be interesting, and of course there'll be accessories for sale from advertisers, but of course nothing which could be used. So we have the DPA-11 VR base aerial, Low Electronics saying that they're going to be doing the TX40, and showing that they also on the European market have the Sky Arrow and the TX22, which is clearly the European 22 channel PTT version. So this isn't Knights as in Curtin and Lindsay, this is a different Knights at Luton who've been and gone. Illegally selling a 2-channel 49 meg walkie-talkie for $29.95. So kiddie walkie-talkies weren't allowed until the UK came out with a specification for those as well. Was it MPT 1336? I can't remember. So the long-awaited specifications for the FMCB have finally been published. So forgetting 934 megs. So the maximum effective radiated power was 2 watts. That's coming out of your aerial, which is, if you remember, the aerials were limited to 1.5 meters of aerial. So things like end-fed dipoles and that kind of thing weren't permitted until the mid-90s. And it was the CAA, the Civil Aviation Authority, that scuppered that. It wasn't the government. They'd had some problems with illegal setups, which had been costly to the military, and so they decided to put their foot down. And until some errors got type tested and approved, which took 10 years, we were stuck with short aerials. And a little switch to sort of put the radio down to 0.4 of a watt if your local ground level to the aerial was greater than 7 meters. I wonder how many people did that. So the Shadow Alpha 3000 was going to be a forthcoming attraction. Of course, it wasn't, although I think there's a pre-production prototype in the UK. But this is for 2781. So this is the Cybernet, but with a European chassis. Inside CB, the Chelsea CB Centre, Globe Wholesale, it encourages to go out and buy teddy bear. Yes, I do have a copy. And the C.W. McCall single, of course. Yeah, we'll just turn the page over from that. Pages on bugging. So what are they making here? Big bubble base station aerial. It's 9 foot, so it wouldn't have been legal. But nevertheless, that could be built today and would be legal. So what they're doing: 9 feet of 5/8 inch diameter alloy tube or rod, a foot of 3/8 plastic tube, 18 feet of multi-strand wire, a wooden space. I'd be tempted to make spaces out of some kind of plastic. Yeah, that would work. One of these transistor radios that will also tune in CB, and obviously made for the American market. They tuned in the American CB, and they often had television sound, but that's VHF band 1 television sound. So, because people bought these in the UK, and they were advertised in the UK, TV sound, but there wasn't any television. It had gone. VHF television had gone in the UK, so they obviously didn't have UHF. Antenna review. Pretty dismal, these disguised antennas. So they were looking at the Miyoshi and the Hirada TX10s. If you put these down, it switched in a dummy load just so you didn't knacker up your CB radio, but they really were a compromise. My late father had a Vauxhall Chevette car. What a dreadful car. And as soon as CB became legal, we put a Maxcom 4E in there, and he wanted it on a disguised antenna because he didn't want people coming up saying, eyeball, eyeball, what's your handle, good buddy? I mean, I'm talking about my father was 40 when he had me, so, you know, he was my kind of age now when the CB came out. So £25 and £37. More of these transistor radios with the extended coverage. More illegal 49 meg walkie-talkies. I think everybody had the good buddies, not the good, but the Big Dummies Guide to CB. Right, so that's the June one, quick look through. But this should show some pre-production prototypes. So they're advertising a non-UK legal set there as a typical kind of thing, but that never happened in the UK. Right, here we go. Fidelity 1000. The Interceptor TC300, which did happen. That didn't happen. And that didn't happen. Because there's going to be a base station, was there? Well, it didn't happen. The Major 3000 happened. We've covered that a few times on this channel. They're still trying to shift these illegal 49 meg walkie-talkies. Is this April or what? Well, this didn't happen, did it? This is a pre-production prototype of something that never happened. WR Electric Tech. WR Electric Tech. So there we are with the TC300 again. I remember that speaker on the market with the built-in Tango. Philips aerial. Philips 3423. That must have been a European thing. Maps of Drivel, CB and Civil Defence, and your CB aerial on your bunker and your cosy bunker. You know, when Space Invaders was a big thing. Add-on teletext for £199. Telephone answering machine for £135. The K40 aerial. Aerial, that's a microphone. Right. Back to the transistor radios. Oh yes, now I can't even say I remember these. A rubber sucker with a plastic dummy microphone which you stuck on your back window and it waved as you went down round the, you know, like a, what else, what was popular in the 50s, which you had in the window waving. I forgot what it was. You had it in the back of your Morris Minor. Can't for the life of me think what it was. Anyway, there's a waving mic. B. Bamba was a wholesaler we used. They were auctioneers as well for military and whatever electronics. Brian Bamba, I went down to Little Port in Cambridgeshire when we lived in Yorkshire, so it was quite some journey on a number of occasions. Anyway, he packed up, he unfortunately had a breakdown, and he called it a day with the shop and the auctions, and that was it. But I used to go to his auctions and that quite a few times. Still trying to shift these illegal 49 meg walkie-talkies, and of course if they hadn't shifted them pronto, the legal ones from the UK came in probably a year later. Remy power supply 3 to 5 amp, £12.24. The deluxe one, so that'll be the BRS 26, that'll be the BRS 27 for £13.70, and then whatever it was called, the 5 to 7 amp one for £19.83, and the 10 amp one £47.61. Now we used to buy those for pipe organ use. Unfortunately they were made for 220 volts, and you put them on 230, or it was 240 then, and the 28 volt capacitors, 28 volt rated capacitors, when you put them on 240 volts, they got 29 to 30 volts applied on them. So within about 10 days, the capacitors blew up and did quite a bit of damage. So we continued to buy them when we realised this was happening, but then changed the capacitors before putting them into service. Of course, then a UK version came out, and then Bremy seemed to fold. So the Windjoy Fire Stick advertisement on the back of that one. There we go. It's nice to see the first sets that actually really did happen on this one, especially looking at Fidelity 1000. I know people call it, but they do work here. So what does it say? First away is the new range of rigs from Fidelity called the CB1000M, which is below, and the slightly more sophisticated CB2000. Well, I think it was a lot more sophisticated, being a cybernetic against the Great. So that was £69, and the 2000 was £89, wasn't it? So it's a full spec with all the usual features. Well, actually, they're 3.5 watt set, the thousands. Oh yeah, the 2000's around £80. It was £89. You got RF gain and things like that. So that was Fidelity. So there you go, quick little look through those magazines. Hope you enjoyed that. Our next repair is a Harrier CB. I don't know whether I'll be able to get on with it today in view of the church work I'm on with today. So thanks for watching.